We live in a time where inner peace has become a treasure that's increasingly hard to find. Amid the constant noise of the modern world, many long to transform their surroundings into a sanctuary of serenity and abundance. But did you know that a small adjustment in your home can deeply influence the energy that resides within it? A simple plant, placed with intention, can become a powerful tool to attract balance, prosperity, and mental clarity. Among all the species that beautify our spaces, there is one that stands out not only for its elegance but also for the spiritual strength it holds. The Sansevieria plant, better known as the snake plant or mother-in-law's tongue. Its upright, firm, and pointed leaves seem to act as invisible guardians, channeling energy upward and filtering negative vibrations. However, what many ignore is that this plant, though protective, carries intense energy, comparable to a sword that cuts through density and impurity. And here arises a crucial question. What happens if it's placed in an unsuitable location? Could a protective force turn into a source of tension within the home? Ancient Eastern teachings, especially those inspired by Buddhist thought, remind us of a profound truth. Everything in life vibrates, and every object, placement, and decision shapes the energetic flow of our environment. It's not about superstition. It's about harmony. The way you arrange the elements in your home directly affects your emotional state, prosperity, and well-being. Therefore, understanding the spiritual nature of each plant and its proper placement is not merely an aesthetic choice, but a conscious practice of balance. So, how can you awaken the most beneficial potential of the snake plant? Where should it be placed to invite fortune and calm without disturbing the harmony of the home? Today we'll explore the spaces where its energy thrives, and those where its presence may create invisible blockages. Because sometimes, the most powerful change comes from something as simple as moving a plant a few feet away. Before we dive into this journey, remember to support this content with a like, and subscribe to keep learning how to transform your space through spiritual awareness. And share in the comments an affirmation that resonates with you, something you want to manifest starting today. It could be, abundance flows freely in my life, or my home vibrates with harmony and protection. First, avoid placing the snake plant at the center of your home. In Fengshui, the central point is known as the life axis, the energetic heart from which stability radiates to every corner. It is the point of balance that sustains health, family unity, and emotional clarity. Just as the human heart beats calmly to sustain life, this core must remain clear, filled with gentle, steady energy. The snake plant, with its vigorous yang energy, symbolizes protection and firmness, but also intensity and direction. These qualities, though useful for reinforcing entrances or corners where strength is needed, can be too dominant for the center of the home, a space that requires fluidity and tranquility. Placing it there may generate subtle tension, a kind of energetic stiffness that disturbs emotional balance and the feeling of comfort. Over time, this dissonance may manifest as family conflicts, financial struggles, or even unexplained fatigue. When the heart of the home is disturbed, overall well-being is affected as well. Many have noticed that placing this plant in the center brings unexpected expenses, blocks in prosperity, or recurring arguments. It's no coincidence. The energy becomes dense, as though the home has lost its harmonic rhythm. For this reason, if you seek peace, clarity, and stability, allow the center of your house to breathe without interference. Save the strength of the snake plant for areas that truly need its protective energy, such as hallways or entrances, where its power can be channeled without overwhelming the environment. Second, avoid placing it in the kitchen. This space is not merely functional. It is a temple of nourishment and warmth. In Eastern energetic philosophy, the kitchen symbolizes the prosperity cultivated daily, the fire that transforms and nourishes, the root of physical and financial well-being. Introducing a plant with sharp energy may create a clash with the soft and welcoming energy that naturally prevails here. The snake plant is known for its firm, determined energy, a yang force that, when balanced, can protect and strengthen the space it inhabits. But when combined with environments that are already active, the result can be an energetic saturation that's hard to harmonize. The kitchen, for example, is a naturally dynamic place where the fire of heat, the metal of utensils, and the flow of water converge. Adding a plant with penetrating energy creates excess stimulation. This overload not only alters the atmosphere but also affects the emotional well-being of those who live there. Such excessive vibration can manifest in subtle ways: a sense of restlessness while cooking, friction between family members during meals, or arguments that arise without clear reason. The kitchen, as a symbol of nourishment and prosperity, should be a place of containment, where warmth, cooperation, and balance prevail. When yang energy dominates without moderation, harmony dissolves. Even financial flow may be affected, as the kitchen is deeply linked to sustenance and economic stability. It's not uncommon for those who place a snake plant here to experience unexpected expenses, trouble saving, or tension around money. Those drawn to the snake plant are often captivated by its elegant form and symbolic strength, yet they may overlook the subtle laws of placement, turning a protective charm into a source of friction. If you notice your home has lost its tranquility or that the atmosphere in your kitchen feels tense, the cause might not be obvious at first glance. Look around your stove or countertop. Perhaps there lies the imbalance. The solution is simple. Move the plant to a space where its bold energy becomes a shield, not a pressure. Now then, another place that should remain free from its influence is the bedroom. This corner of the home is more than just a room. It is a sanctuary of rest, introspection, and spiritual reconnection. Here, Softein energy nourishes the body and calms the mind. Introducing a snake plant into this environment invites an overly awakened vibration, one that is incompatible with the serenity needed for sleep and healing. Its upright and sharp nature stimulates focus and mental activity, qualities that are excellent for work or study areas but counterproductive in a space dedicated to rest. If you find it difficult to fall asleep, experience restless dreams, or feel a subtle sense of emotional agitation, your surroundings may be charged with energy that's too intense. The balance between yin and yang is essential. An excess of yang transforms tranquility into overstimulation, leading to insomnia, stress, and even emotional detachment. The bedroom also represents emotional union and shared intimacy. When such a dominant energy enters, it can build subtle walls that make emotional connection more difficult. If your goal is to strengthen closeness, tenderness, and inner peace, it's best to move this plant to a more active area, such as a hallway, office, or main entrance, where its strength can be channeled toward protection and purification. Lastly, avoid placing it in dark corners or areas with constant humidity. While it may seem like a good idea to fill empty spaces with greenery, plants, like people, need light to flourish and fulfill their energetic purpose. In areas without enough illumination or with excess moisture, the snake plant loses its vitality, its energy stagnates, and over time, it may begin to wither. A weakened plant reflects not only physical neglect but also a symbolic message of stagnation. Its wilted appearance projects a vibration of discouragement and blockage, affecting both the environment and those who inhabit it. Keeping it in places with balanced light and active energy allows it to fulfill its role as the home's guardian, preserving clarity and the continuous flow of qi that sustains inner harmony. When a plant begins to wither or lose vitality, it's not just an aesthetic issue. It becomes a tangible reflection of an energetic imbalance. A decaying plant ceases to perform its purifying role and starts behaving like a sponge, absorbing and retaining dense energy, becoming a point of blockage within the home. This heavy vibration can subtly expand throughout the space, influencing not only the mood of those who live there but also their mental clarity and flow of prosperity. A fading plant, in the symbolic language of Fengshui, is a visible sign that something in the environment is not flowing harmoniously. Its decline may mirror a feeling of inner exhaustion or a lack of personal growth. To prevent this, it's essential to provide a healthy environment, sufficient light, proper air circulation, and balanced humidity levels. A vigorous plant is a channel of clean energy, while a weakened one projects blockage. Maintaining its vitality is, in essence, also caring for the energy of your home and your own spirit. Now, let's move on to one of the most strategic points in the energetic layout of your space, the prosperity corner. According to Eastern teachings, this area is located in the far left corner from the main entrance or in the southeastern sector of the home. It is considered the epicenter of economic flow, the point where abundance and long-term material growth take root. However, not every plant is suitable for this place. Although the Sansevieria, or snake plant, carries protective energy, its upright and pointed form introduces a sharp vibration that may interfere with the softness this area requires. The wealth corner responds best to rounded and expansive energies that mirror the natural flow of abundance. Sharp-edged leaves, like those of the snake plant, tend to divide or disperse energy, creating resistance instead of continuous movement. Over time, this could translate into financial obstacles, missed opportunities, or difficulties in consolidating income. For this reason, this specific spot is better suited to plants with soft, fleshy leaves that evoke fullness, such as the jade plant or the money tree. These varieties symbolize steady growth, fortune, and stability, aligning with the harmonious rhythm this area needs to thrive. If you currently have a snake plant placed in the southeast corner, consider moving it to a location where its strength is more beneficial, such as a hallway or entryway, areas where active and protective energy complements its vigorous nature. Another sensitive location is the staircase, a structure that not only connects levels but also transports energy between them. In home energy philosophy, stairs are dynamic channels through which chi flows, constantly rising and descending. Placing a snake plant near this point, with its vertical and penetrating energy, can disrupt that natural flow. Imagine it as a stream of water interrupted by a spear. Instead of flowing, the movement becomes fragmented. This disruption can lead to emotional tension, irritability, or a persistent sense of imbalance. Additionally, by intensifying the energetic current, there's a risk of creating financial instability, unexpected expenses, or recurring conflicts. This effect is even more noticeable if the staircase connects directly to the main entrance or a bedroom, places that require a gentle and consistent flow. The snake plant, by its protective nature, needs spaces where it can act as a shield, not an obstacle. Therefore, placing it beside a staircase, especially if it's at the center of the home, invites overly active energy into a point that requires smooth transitions. Mindful placement of each element is not merely an aesthetic matter but a conscious practice to maintain harmony throughout the environment. If you've ever felt that despite your efforts, prosperity seems to slip through your fingers or never quite settles in your life, the issue may not lie in your intention but in the energetic placement of certain elements in your home. A poorly positioned plant can turn abundance into something fleeting or unstable. However, when energy is organized with wisdom, every object becomes a channel that multiplies well-being. The snake plant, when placed correctly, acts as an invisible shield that protects health, strengthens harmony, and attracts lasting prosperity. That's why, after understanding the places best avoided, it's time to discover the spaces where its presence generates profound change, places where energy enters gently, moves without interruption, and remains steady. Areas that foster mental clarity, emotional balance, and material expansion. An excellent spot to place it is in your workspace or study area. These environments are charged with intention, focus, and purpose, and they need energetic support to stay clear. If you feel your mind easily drifts or ideas don't flow as they used to, introducing a snake plant can make an immediate difference. Its firm, upright structure symbolizes discipline and direction. On a desk, a shelf, or beside the place where you meditate, its steady energy cleanses the environment of distractions, helping you maintain focus and serenity. In Eastern philosophy, a clear mental space is synonymous with productivity and inner vision. Where the mind is in order, life follows. That's why having a snake plant in your office or contemplation corner isn't just decoration, it's a tool of balance. Its vibration sustains your motivation, fuels creativity, and strengthens your ability to move forward without exhaustion. Another ideal place to position it is at the main entrance of your home. This point, more than just a physical access, represents the portal through which vital energy enters your life. In many traditions, it is known as the mouth of Qi and is considered essential to keep protected and calm. Placing a snake plant near the door is like invoking silent guardians who filter everything that crosses the threshold. With their upright, firm leaves, they act as sentinels moderating the speed of energetic flow, preventing outer agitation from invading your sanctuary. If you live across from a busy street or in a lively environment, this placement is especially beneficial. Its stabilizing energy keeps vibrations of stress or confusion from penetrating your home, allowing only harmony and opportunity to enter. Positioning 1 or 2 snake plants on either side of the door enhances this protective effect. It works as a symbolic invitation to abundance while serving as a barrier against chaos. Each time you enter or leave, their presence reminds you that you're crossing a sacred threshold, one where what nurtures your well-being may enter, and what disturbs it must remain outside. Size doesn't matter. Even a small plant has the power to emit a clear signal of protection and respect for the home's energy. It's as if you were declaring to the universe, in this space, calm reigns and prosperity finds its dwelling. A third spot that amplifies its effect is beside a well-lit window. Natural light nourishes the plant and, in turn, activates its ability to transform the energy of the environment. There, it can absorb accumulated heaviness and restore purity to the space. Moreover, by receiving sunlight, it strengthens and remains vibrant, preventing its energy from stagnating. In this position, the snake plant acts as a bridge between interior and exterior, letting light pass through while blocking vibrations that disturb the home's peace. If there's one place where the snake plant reveals its most subtle and transformative nature, it's next to a window where light enters like a warm, steady breath. This isn't just an aesthetic choice. It's a conscious arrangement that awakens the plant's life force and harmonizes the vibration of its surroundings. By placing it here, you allow universal energy to flow into your home, renewing every corner with its gentle radiance. The light nourishes its firm leaves, and in response, they purify the air, balance the space's frequencies, and create a vibrational shield that repels heaviness and energetic disorder. The plant thus becomes a silent witness, a guardian channeling serenity and strength from its roots to its crown. Even more meaningful is to place it on balconies or windowsills that receive the rising light from the east or southeast, directions symbolizing new beginnings, abundance, and spiritual clarity. The morning energy, fresh and revitalizing, infuses the plant with dynamism and promotes an energetic flow that fosters prosperity and emotional well-being. Yet balance is essential. Too much sunlight can fatigue the plant, generating an energy surplus that disrupts rather than nourishes. The ideal is gentle, caressing brightness, light that feeds without overwhelming, allowing it to radiate its healing power and sustain the harmony around it. When the plant breathes that light, its presence becomes magnetic, almost sacred. It ceases to be a mere decorative piece and transforms into a living conduit between matter and energy, turning the space into a sanctuary where light and calm flow like a mantra. But its magic isn't limited to bright zones. Dark corners, those forgotten spaces that often accumulate dense energy, can also benefit from its influence. These neglected spots tend to become reservoirs of stagnant energy, subtly affecting mental clarity, emotional stability, and abundance. The snake plant acts here as a quiet spark that awakens movement. Placing it in a shadowy corner is like lighting a small spiritual flame that revives the flow of qi and clears built-up heaviness. Its upright leaves capture the light and redirect energy, restoring circulation and vitality to the space. However, even in its mission to restore harmony, the plant requires at least minimal ambient light to sustain its strength. If the environment is too dark, its leaves may lose vigor and color, reflecting a loss of balance in the home's energetic field. Therefore, seek corners where a soft glow gently touches its form, enough to keep it active as a silent sentinel of life force. Thus, darkness ceases to be a forgotten void and becomes a point of renewal and expansion. And if there is one place where its presence elegantly guides the movement of energy, it is in spacious hallways or foyers connecting rooms. These corridors are the arteries through which qi circulates, carrying intentions, emotions, and opportunities. In many homes, such spaces are decorated for style but rarely considered as living energy channels. By placing a snake plant in these zones, you introduce a natural stabilizer, a guardian that softens turbulent currents and keeps energy organized. Its vertical leaves act as beacons of direction and balance, ensuring that the flow doesn't scatter but distributes gracefully into every corner of the home. In this way, what was once a simple passage transforms into a pathway of conscious energy, guided by the plant's silent wisdom. This plant not only beautifies the environment but also serves as a point of energetic stability, aligning the subtle forces of the space and promoting a sense of balance in areas where energy tends to scatter. Its mere presence invites calm and inner order, reminding us that even in transitional spaces, serenity and conscious intention can take root. But before delving into its ability to transform environments and attract well-being, it is essential to understand that its power depends as much on its location as on its vitality. A neglected plant loses its capacity to radiate harmonious energy. Caring for it is therefore not merely an aesthetic task but a spiritual act. Below, I will share 5 sacred energetic maintenance practices that will keep its strength alive and transform it into a constant channel of prosperity, clarity, and inner balance. First principle: mindful and purposeful watering. Although the snake plant is known for its resilience, its relationship with water reflects the balance between giving and receiving. It's not about saturating its soil or leaving it parched, but about finding the precise point where water becomes energy, not excess. This act should be performed in the morning, during the early hours of the day when the light is still gentle and the atmosphere remains pure. In that moment, the plant absorbs the renewing energy of the sunrise and distributes it throughout the environment, infusing freshness and vitality into your home. Imagine this gesture as a small ritual. As you water it, breathe deeply, give thanks for the new day, and visualize abundance flowing toward you. Caring for its hydration is caring for your own balance, fine-tuning the vibration of your space and opening doors to new opportunities. Second principle: keep its surroundings clear and harmonious. The plant is not alone. It is part of a constant dialogue with its environment. Everything around it influences its ability to channel positive energy. If the area is cluttered, dusty, or chaotic, the vital flow is obstructed, creating density and energetic fatigue. Physical order is therefore also spiritual order. Take time to clean its surroundings, remove what is unnecessary, and allow the air to circulate freely. You will not only purify the space but also clear your own mind. A healthy plant in a clean environment reflects inner clarity, firm intention, and openness to the new. Think of its surroundings as a mirror. When free of clutter, energy can move, manifest, and multiply. Third principle: remove signs of wear. Every leaf, color, and texture transmits energetic information. When a leaf yellows or wilts, it is not merely an aesthetic detail, it is a symbol of descending energy. Allowing it to remain is like maintaining a blockage in the flow. Removing deteriorated parts respectfully and promptly is vital for the plant to maintain its strength. This simple gesture acts as an energetic reset, allowing life to flow uninterrupted and the plant to preserve its protective function. Just as we release old thoughts or stagnant emotions, removing what no longer vibrates at a high level helps energy renew itself, making way for expansion, vitality, and abundance. When a leaf loses its shine, weakens, or changes color, it sends a silent message. A portion of its energy has completed its cycle. It is not only a physical sign but a symbolic representation of what needs to be released to allow new growth. Leaving wilted leaves on the plant is like clinging to thoughts, habits, or emotions that block the flow of vitality. Therefore, whenever you notice a declining leaf, bid it farewell with care. Cutting it is not an act of loss but of liberation. This simple gesture creates space for renewal, restores strength to growth, and revitalizes the energetic field of both the plant and the home. It is a small ritual of detachment that reminds you that letting go is also a way of moving forward. As you remove what no longer vibrates highly, you reaffirm your intention to allow the fresh, the healthy, and the abundant to take its place. Your environment mirrors your inner energy, and every conscious act of care becomes a declaration of harmony and clarity. Next principle: provide the plant with a new home when its current one becomes limited. Over time, soil ages, hardens, and loses its ability to fully support life. Roots, in search of space, become entangled, and the energy that once flowed freely begins to stagnate. At this point, your plant requests renewal. Transplanting it, loosening its roots, and providing fresh soil is like giving it a new opportunity for expansion. This process is not merely physical. In energetic terms, it symbolizes rebirth, a change of cycle, and the opening of prosperous paths. Each time you change its soil, you are also shifting your internal energy, removing what has become dense to allow abundance to return. By doing so, you tell yourself, I am ready to grow, to receive, to flourish. What you do with your hands in the pot reflects in your daily life, strengthening your invisible foundations, your emotional roots, your projects, and your dreams. Finally, every moment of care should be an act of conscious intention. The plant responds not only to water or light, but to the vibration with which you attend it. Approach it with gratitude, serenity, and a clear mind. Speaking kindly to it, blessing its growth, or simply projecting positive thoughts is like sowing light in its environment. You might affirm, as you flourish, my life finds balance, acknowledging that the well-being of your plant and your own well-being are interconnected. In energetic terms, every word and every emotion is a seed. By caring for your plant with love and respect, you also cultivate prosperity, clarity, and peace along your path. A plant tended with awareness becomes a mirror of the soul, reflecting your willingness to care for, heal, and expand your own energy in harmony with the universe.